Yo, what's up? I'm your Ghostbusters Green, back with you another video today. Yo, your first time finding our channel, you love movie reviews, trailer reactions, stuff like that. You guys definitely hit the subscribe button. Also, the video really does help. Yes, today we will be finally reviewing the new Ghostbusters Afterlife film. If you guys know me, you guys know I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. Played the games, and I was anticipated for this new Ghostbusters film. Now, this one is a direct sequel to the original one, not that disaster we saw a couple years ago with the four girls. This is not a sequel to that. They don't even reference that one. This is a direct sequel to the original's Ghostbusters, which was, you know, Bill Murray, the whole entire game pretty much, right? So it's a direct sequel to that. Now, did it meet my expectations? I'm not gonna lie. When you give your review, I'm gonna be under the desk because I know how your review finna go. So, I think this. I'll say this. I think this movie will have people on different sides. I think some people will be like, "Yo, I love this film," and like I see people saying, "Yo, I hated this film." I can see it, and we'll talk about which side we're on in this review right here. So, first thing I'm going to say. So, if you guys know me, you guys know. Oh, I love that Ghostbusters theme song.
Something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
Y'all know I love that. You know what I'm saying? I love it. And yes, you do hear it here. It's the full spoiler review. You do hear it here, and I loved it when I heard it. Now, at the same time, not only do you hear that Ghostbusters song, but throughout the film, you start to hear like other Ghostbusters soundtrack pieces too. I'm talking about this one. But I love that, bro. Especially when I'm playing at the Ghostbusters video game and I always hear it. Dude, I love it. And they definitely bring it back throughout the movie here, which I definitely enjoyed. So kudos to the sound design team and the sound team over there. I think the like I said, the theme song, I think all like the sounds in the movie work really well. Now, another thing I did like was the tone of the film. It kind of sets the same exact tone as you see from the original movie that came out in 1984, and even the sequel, and even the freaking video game. It's kind of the same exact tone you get here. So I did respect that. I don't know how you felt about the tone of the film.
Yeah, I thought the tone was consistent overall. I think it delivered on the tone. It did what it set out to do.
Yeah. Let's talk about the characters just really quick. I feel like we're going to be on different sides when it comes to these characters. Now, there is a main character here, and pretty much the story is that, what's her name? Phoebe. Phoebe, our main little girl. Phoebe pretty much is the granddaughter of
Egon.
And rest in peace to Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
So rest in peace to Harold Ramis. They do give him callbacks here and stuff like that. We'll talk about that just in a little bit. But she is the granddaughter of him, so that's why she's always into like this techie stuff and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to say, I feel like she by far was the best written character in the entire film. I know we're going to be on different sides of that when I just said, but I thought like her performance in the movie was really good. I'm not saying like it's the best, and I'll talk about who I think was the best in a little bit, but I think for her being pretty much the main character here, I think she did a great job with the material and the stuff she was given. What's your thoughts on her?
Most well-developed character, best written character, best performance, easily. I just didn't care. I don't know how else to explain it. I didn't hate the character. She didn't really bug me. Maybe like a moment or two where I was like, well, you're a kid, you're 12, but like, you know.
I never once hated her character.
Yeah, there's no like resentment or anything. I just didn't care. She takes after Egon.
Yeah, like
so,
yeah. You can see where she gets her little like her little science stuff, and even her jokes she throws out throughout the film. Now I'm gonna say in the film the humor is not that good. Let's call a spade, man. Look, it ain't that good.
I think I laughed maybe twice.
I don't think I laughed at all.
I mean, I did like the concept of her like unique
jokes.
Yeah,
I like her.
They were pretty unique, clever jokes, and the dry delivery. Maybe that works for others. Personally, didn't work for me. Just a preference, I think.
I think I laughed maybe a couple times, but it was like, man, I should have been laughing way more if these jokes would just hit a lot better.
Yeah. I think it's just a preference for maybe both of us in terms of comedic timing. Yeah, I just didn't find those particular things funny. But hey, you know, not everything's gonna hit.
Talking about a comedic character, boy, was this dude damn the selling point of the entire film. Let's talk about Paul Rudd here. This is a spoiler review. He was useless. Let's be honest, man. I'm not even being funny with y'all, anything like that. What did this man do in the film? It's besides turn into a goddamn dog at the end of the film. I don't think he did anything. Like, for real, he was just running around.
I think I'm getting tired of characters like, or actors like Paul Rudd.
And I feel like Paul Rudd,
like where it's like in certain low doses, or even like a film here or two. I like your like gimmick of I'm the charming man. I'm pretty quirky and funny, and it works for a bit. But here it was the most forced I've ever seen it. And, no.
It was
thanks.
like, man, you have Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is a great actor. You know what I'm saying?
He's good,
like,
yeah. He has range too.
Yes, but I'm like, use him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even using him here.
Have you seen Role Models?
No, I haven't.
Watch Role Models because he is completely different, unlikable.
But
He's a really, really mean person in Role Models, but there's an undergoing change through that film, and it feels like a well-developed character. Never felt like a character in this.
yeah, I'm just kind of like, it was kind of like they just used him because he's a big name. He's probably the biggest name they could get.
Yeah.
They're like, hey man, want to be in this Ghostbusters film? He's like, F it, why not? But I just thought there was so much more you could have done with this man in this movie, and y'all just reduced him to pretty much nothing. He has a love interest in the movie, and all he does in the film is just turn into a dog.
That's how I feel about pretty much every character in this.
Yeah, well,
It's just you could have done more.
I think Finn Wolfhand, I think how you say his name.
Wolfheart, maybe.
Yeah, Wolfhard. I don't look. I'm gonna be honest. Like I didn't hate his character, but it's kind of like his character was like kind of forced a little bit. It was kind of like he was the one that was getting the car ready to go and doing certain things. And it was first of all, this makes no sense. Early in the film, they're like, "Yo, this dude failed his driving test, right?" But
He's
literally
failed 4 times.
Yeah, they said he failed it 4 times, right? But if you see this man driving, bro, he drives better than half the people in Fast and the Furious movies. I'm sitting there like, bro, y'all see this drifting and all this? I'm like, and he's failed it 4 times, right?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But I did not personally hate his character. I thought his character was all right. It's just for him, it's kind of the same thing. It's not his fault. It's not personally Finn's fault. It's how they written the character, and I just think it just falls flat a little bit, honestly. And that's kind of like every character you kind of see in this film. A lot of the characters, except for I think what's her name? Penelope, what's her name? Phoebe. Aside from Phoebe, I think every other character, except for one more, they don't really showcase this guy too much. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I might be the only one to give this kid praise, man, because I think he did a phenomenal job with the material he was given. Logan Kim, his name was podcast in the film. I think he did a great job. I'm not gonna lie, he threw out jokes here and there. Some of them didn't land, some of them did. It is what it is. But I think for such a young actor like this, and for him to put on the performance he did, I'm not saying it was a great performance or stuff like that, but I think the performance he gave us here, I think it works, especially for what they're trying to do with these characters. I personally think, I'm gonna be real, I think Podcast, aka Logan Kim, was my favorite character in the entire film. I'm just being real with y'all. I don't know how you felt about him.
Meh.
Oh, never mind.
Well, that's my underlying problem with this movie. Everything is, serviceable, fine, okay. But I don't think I'm going to think about this movie besides the things that really tick me off, which I'll get into later.
Yeah.
After like a week or even a day, I won't really think about this movie ever. I'm just going to think,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. It's just like, he was fine. He did a good job with what he was given. Again, I think it's prefacing. I don't think all the jokes really hit, but I think people will laugh. I think people will like them.
Yeah. Yeah, now I want to talk about certain things that were very stupid in the film.
Yeah.
So there's a certain point, there's a couple moments, but there was a part I had to write down, bro. I thought this part was stupid. Now, I know, what's her name, Phoebe?
Yes.
Phoebe, I know she realized who her grandfather was and stuff like that. But when you are in jail, right? Let's call it what it was. They were in jail for wrecking up the whole entire town, right? With their little Ghostbusters car, their gadget, which I'm not gonna lie, the effects in this movie, I think the CGI was done really well. But they all go to jail because they wrecking stuff, right? And literally, she gets one phone call. She don't call her mom. Oh no, she calls the motherfucking Ghostbusters. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, if you sit back and you're really thinking about that, that's kind of stupid. You're in jail for property damage, and you calling the Ghostbusters? I guess the who you gonna call line. I guess
That was,
whatever.
Whatever. That was the most annoying.
It's not her fault. It's how they read it,
Well,
man.
yeah, no.
Like, come on, man. Like, I understand you want to bring in the original characters and stuff like that, but can y'all not find any better way to do it? Like, having her call them from jail, that's how they come back and realize stuff is going on? Nah, fam, come on. I don't think that works.
I will get into them in a bit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty upset.
Really quickly, another thing I didn't like about this movie is that like this is pretty much a sequel to the two originals. And I really don't like that. If you don't really watch the two originals, you kind of don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's some gadgets you see here, you're not gonna know what they are unless you watch the originals. You know, I did not like that aspect. I feel like
you can kind of pick up what, like,
yeah, I know you can pick it up, but
yeah.
I feel like they should have done a better job explaining them. Because I played the games, I watched the first movie a little bit, so I know what these gadgets are already off rip. But I'm just thinking about someone that does not know about it. And especially, these are new characters, right? These are characters that are just as new to what's going on as anybody. So I think they should be the first one to be like, yo, what is this? How do I examine what is this? But they don't never do that.
I had a huge problem with Phoebe where she's like, I don't believe in ghosts. And then it's like, but you've been playing checkers. No, not checkers, chess.
No, but that happened later. That happened
well,
after
no,
the fact.
like, but afterwards too. Here's the thing that made me mad. It was, or not even made me mad. I was just kind of like, really? Is that when she's playing chess, she doesn't seem phased that the ghosts exist.
Nobody did, honestly.
Yeah.
Even their mother that went to the basement later on, like a freaking a light is just like magically going around and showing them different stuff, and it's like she don't get freaked out at all. I'm like, what is going on here? I don't know, man.
It's like people treat like ghosts like it's like standard, like they don't believe in them, but like when they find out they're real, it's like, oh, they're real. All right.
Yeah,
I don't know. It takes something away.
It's crazy because I'm saying how much all things I hate, but we'll get into why I thought a different thing. There's not very
much I like.
Yeah. But yeah, you're talking about Phoebe here. Yeah. But thing I'm gonna say, the things I really liked about the film though, I thought the CGI. I think it's a little bit earlier, but I thought the CGI was done really well. Like there's shots where you see ghosts. What was his name? Stay Puft. You see Stay Puft. I thought those were done really well.
I will give props where props is due. The practical effects mixed in with the CGI stuff made it feel like when I was watching the original.
Yeah.
I did like the car design. I like the lasers that are shooting out of it. And stuff like
I thought it all looked very well done.
The weapons are very well done, very well made. All the gadgets look really good. I think this film in general was shot pretty well.
Yeah, I think
the cinematography is pretty good.
You can see like even the set pieces are really done well.
Yes.
You can tell it's not really shot on like around the world. It's shot in one little town.
I will say
I thought that was done really
this
well.
movie looks way better than the last Ghostbusters movie.
Oh, you talking about
last one just looked awful. In comparison, in every way.
And I will say, if you guys hated that film, this one is a lot better than that one. I will say
both of these equally, but like I think there's more in terms of objective quality that's better in this. Okay. So,
but yeah, I definitely enjoyed this new one a lot better than I did with this one.
Which makes sense to me. Yeah.
But another thing I want to talk about really quickly before we just talk about going into the ending and stuff like that and give you guys our ratings for the film. I thought when they bring back certain characters, they tease them in the trailer and stuff like that. When they bring back the certain characters, I feel like that is straight nostalgia. It's straight. It's almost like I'm trying to think of the word I'm trying to say, but it's almost like look, we know why y'all are here.
It feels hollow.
It feels forced too. It's like
It felt very forced.
yeah, it's kind of like, look, we know why y'all are here. We know why y'all want to come back or come see this film, and we're gonna give it to y'all. You know. Now I'm not gonna lie, this is really going into spoiler territories. When they bring back the originals, I'm talking, and they looking just like this in the film right here. I thought that was done really well. I liked them. I know me and you are different sides of that. I loved Bill Murray in the film. I loved what's his name, Aaron Hudson in the film. I loved all of them in the film. Hold on real quick. I will say, whenever I saw, honestly, actually all 4 of them popped up on the screen. But whenever they all popped up, I was kind of wanting, like, okay, I wish they would have changed the whole entire movie around. Make the movie about them having to get the band back together. That's what I wish this movie would have been about. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. We got to get on with these kids and stuff like that. Go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Yeah, well, that would have been a better idea than what we got. Because I think, as much as I wouldn't have wanted that either, I think it's a better, more fitting trilogy kind of ender. Because, you know, Ghostbusters, they're just goofballs. You know, they're like, they're doing a task, they're doing a job. It's they're not exactly superheroes. They're not exactly like they're just like standard, you know, people just doing their job. And like, there's nothing super, I don't know, what's the word? Epic, right? You know, like, it's just standard. They happen to save the world by doing their job. You know, and there just felt like a unique quality to that, like a unique feeling to that, which it feels like this movie is just like nostalgia bait. Like, they make it grander than what it is. You know,
that's Sony for you though. That's Sony for you.
When they
that is definitely Sony.
So when they came back, I had mixed feelings because on one hand they sort of act like their characters. It's a lot of callbacks and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm just like, I didn't need them in this film. I didn't.
Oh, I needed them. I ain't gonna lie. I need
don't
them.
get me
I
wrong.
Them bad.
I'm not mad about seeing them.
I need them bad.
But I definitely am just like, I feel nothing.
I feel
nothing.
The reason why I say I needed them bad, it was because of the fact that, you know, towards the end of the film, everybody puts on the Ghostbuster suits. I felt like only one of those people earned to have that Ghostbuster suit on. You know, the other chick that pops up, what's her name? What you call it? Finn's love interest in the film. Whenever she puts on that Ghostbusters suit, I'm like, what? What did she do to earn this? You know what I'm saying?
To be fair, in the first one, the only reason, I think his name is Ernie Hudson.
Ernie, the black, yeah.
Yeah, the only reason he's a Ghostbuster is because he applied and he got hired.
But I mean,
he didn't have like unique scientific qualities or anything like that.
I don't know. With this chick, they were kind of like, well, you here, come on.
That's just kind of part of the standard for Ghostbusters. So to be fair to this movie, I have to disagree there. That's fine. I don't mind, because they need to save the world. It doesn't matter. No. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I felt nothing though.
Yeah. Now they do bring back an original character here. What's her name? Gozer. What was her freaking name is? Y'all know this chick right here.
Yeah.
They bring her back, and she does absolutely nothing in the film. Her only purpose in the now, she did look good in the film. I'm not gonna lie. Her special effects and how she looked really good. But her whole entire purpose was literally to bring back the original characters. That was her only purpose in the entire film, was just to bring back the original characters. I don't feel like they very well established her character enough, because they kind of were like introducing her in the third act.
To be fair, that was the first one too.
Huh?
That was the first one too.
She was saying,
it's just a standard bad guy.
Yeah, I think they got to do better with it.
I'm not personally like that invested with, because in the first Ghostbusters, standard bad guy. There's nothing more.
But to me, she was just boring in this one. This is like, I had no faith in her getting anything done.
Yeah, like I'm not.
I had no faith. I had no faith in her getting anything done.
I don't personally care. Yeah.
Now, one thing I did like is toward the end of the film when they're fighting Gowser. Literally, she's like, "Are you a guy?" And it's the callback to the original when it's like, "Yo, If she asks you, if she says, "Are you a god?" say yes. So I'm glad they finally call back to that moment. I love that. Towards the ending of this film, I gotta say it turns into a complete light show. You know what I'm saying? It's dark outside and nothing but lights going on. So I don't know how people feel about those. I'm hit or miss every time. And this one, I really wasn't bothered as much as I probably should have been. But I can see a lot of people being bothered by that light show at the end. I don't know if you want to say anything about
Those get annoying really quick, and it's just something that I'm cynical about each time I see it. It just kind of dours my perception of the third act. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, another thing I will say is that, man, I really wish, that would be nice, but I wish we can get another movie, but bring back, and I know you can't bring back one of the characters, but you know what I'm saying, have like the originals come back in another movie. I wish we can get that. Probably won't, but that's just wishful thinking.
You know what I'm upset about? Can I go on my small little rant?
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't like what they did with Egon at all. Egon, okay. It doesn't, it feels, and I know they tried to not make it disrespectful, like, oh, it was a sacrifice, like, you know, to protect everyone. But it just felt, it didn't feel right. Because it was like, okay, he's like, yeah, guys, like, I gotta go protect everyone from this thing. Like, he's going off on these rants, and his friends don't believe him. Mm-hmm. Even though, like, why would you not? Like, why would you not believe him? Like, you guys have dealt with stuff like this before in the past, and they're like, well, you just gotta move. It's like, that doesn't feel right to me. Like, why would you just say your friend's nutso and just leave them all alone in this, like, you know, farmhouse or whatever? It just
Egon's
felt
one of
off.
my favorite characters.
And then it
Ghostbusters
also
too.
just felt off that Egon would, I don't know, I feel like Egon would find a way to be like, I can balance out having a happy life, having a family or whatever, and doing this project also. I don't know, finding a middle ground. I don't know, it just felt very off. It felt like this movie was like kind of disrespecting him, like implying that.
No,
like,
I think it did him justice. I think it did him justice.
No, what?
Because if you guys have realized, he passed away in 2014. So the way you see him here is a full-on ghost. But I honestly, like, I forgot he even passed away. That's why I'd ask you again. I was like, oh crap, that was done really well.
It just felt weird, like, where it was just like implied that he's like some deadbeat, nutso, crazy guy throughout the whole film. And I know, like, that's like intended to like go role reversal. He was right.
But you see, he was trying to save the world. Like,
it just felt wrong. Like, I just watching it, and it just felt disrespectful. And I wasn't engaged by that narrative. I didn't buy it. You know, like, I didn't buy it. That's why I have a problem with the most. It didn't feel in line with the character or any of the other Ghostbuster characters. Like, it just didn't.
Yeah, Egon's one of my favorite characters in Ghostbusters too.
A nitpick. I'm gonna grab out a nitpick really quick, and this one bugged me. I don't think this is something I would harp on even more if I enjoyed the film. But dude, I'm telling you right now, they have these Ghostbuster suits or whatever. They have Egon has extras, and they go and grab them for the final third act, and they all fit the kids. But like, wait, when did you guys get Ghostbuster suits? Did you make your own? Like, this is kind of sudden.
Wait. I gotta say, but they were in his closet, and they didn't really fit like that. You could see that they were a little bit big on some people. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta fight back on you. They shouldn't have fit at
all, dude. They should have been like a lot bigger looking.
I mean,
like,
yeah, that's a nitpick.
Like, because you got to think about this too. There's different like sizes. Like, there's young kids, like, and then an older. It's like, no, like, you should have at least, like, I don't know, made your, like, you could have shown like a small montage somewhere in the film where they just got their own suits or whatever. It's not a big deal. It's not hard to do. I don't know. That just bugged me. It took me out of the movie a little bit.
I mean, I can understand that.
It's just small little things.
It's a nitpick.
Normally, I wouldn't really harp on it that big, but like, that really took me out.
So, let me go into this, and let's get into like the ending explain really quick. So when it comes to like the ending explain part, it's not too hard to explain it. Pretty much, the whole gang ends up letting out a big ghost that was already trapped. And pretty much this ghost's name is, what's her name? Gozer, pretty much. So she's let loose in this film. And with her becoming let loose, well, that makes it to the point that all of our original boys are all back. So everybody ends up coming back. The original characters, even though they kind of, they don't CGI them, make them look any younger. They all look like pretty much this in the film. They all look older, but they all come back and they end up defeating her. And whenever they defeat her, Egon, pretty much he's there too. And now I know the real life actor passed away, but he got CGI'd in the film, and he pretty much hugs his granddaughter, and then he ends up leaving. Now the last shot of the movie pretty much is that, well, the gang, everybody, they're going to New York now. So maybe there'll be another film with them heading to New York and doing pretty much what the originals were doing. So yeah, there is a post-credit scene though, so I would say stick around for the post-credit scene, but that's pretty much it, y'all. Ain't nothing else to it. All right, let's get into our full-on ratings of the film. Now I'm gonna give my rating first. I think, and I will say this, I'll be on two different sides here. I think people that really enjoy the originals, you talking about 1984 and even the second one after that, and even the video game that came out, I think you guys will really enjoy this film, especially when it comes down to that third act, because of what all happens and goes on in that third act. But I think what really hurts this movie really bad is that the characters really fall flat, except from, I feel like, Podcast and Penelope. Other than those two, I really feel like everybody else just kind of falls flat a little bit. But the CGI and everything else is done really well. And I would have to give this movie, if I had to give it my personal rating, I wasn't bored with it. I didn't even really feel the runtime that much, aside from like the bad jokes and stuff like that. But I'll give this movie an 8 out of 10. I honestly feel like a lot of people won't like the film, and I completely understand why a lot of people won't like it. But at the same time, if you're a diehard fan, or someone that's really into the Ghostbusters, I think you'll really enjoy this film. Go ahead.
I'll be fair to the movie. I think there will be people that like this film. I think there are things about it and jokes that actually do objectively work and people will find funny. I heard laughter. And, hey, I get it. I think the practical effects and CGI fit the tone of Ghostbusters. I think all that works. I think the action's pretty decent. I think the
tone works perfectly here.
Cinematography's good. I think there's a lot to like about the directing. I didn't think any of the acting performances really bad. I just felt the writing was pretty flat. I just didn't really care about the characters. I didn't hate the characters, but I didn't love the characters. I just felt very middle ground, neutral. I just didn't care, and that's something that I don't want to say because, I don't want to be negative Nancy, but if I don't care, I'm gonna be bored, and then I'm gonna feel the runtime even more. So 2 hours felt like 3 hours. Anyway, I'll wrap it up with this. I feel like my objective rating for this film would be like a 7 out of 10. I think it's a well-made film. I think people will like it. My subjective rating, though, however, is a 2 out of 10. I just didn't care. I felt like they disrespected some of the characters from the OGs. Even if it wasn't intended, even if some people didn't feel that way, it just didn't feel right to me. I think people kind of miss the point of Ghostbusters, the original. It's just a goofy comedy, something simple. I'm sure you can make a franchise out of this. I'm sure people will enjoy the franchise. I don't think I'm one of those people that will enjoy the franchise. I enjoy the first one just as a simple story.
I will say, I felt like Sony was getting in the way of this film. Like, Sony was sitting there and they're like, no, you got to put this in there. You got to put this in there. You got to put this in there. I just felt like Sony was just a little bit getting in the way of this film a little bit. But go ahead and finish.
So, as it stands, objective rating 7 out of 10, subjective rating 2 out of 10. I think there will be people that like this, even love it.
Yeah, I can see people loving this film. I can see it.
Unfortunately, I just hated this film, and my brother hated the film, and sucks to suck, but that's how it is.
Yeah, but that's our rating of the film. If you guys have seen it, please put down your comments on it down below. Did you guys like it? Did you not like it? We'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it down below. Hey, y'all first time finding our channel, hit the subscribe button, all that video. Tell me your thoughts, complaints, criticism, stuff like that down below. Hey, we'll see you guys in the next one.